I'm sure you're familiar with the story from the book of Genesis, the one where the serpent tempted Adam and Eve, tempted them to go ahead and eat the forbidden fruit. And them having done so, created sin. Now, what kind of sin was it that they committed? Well, some people say that it was disobedience. And yes, while that may be true, but it is still too broad to just call it simply disobedient. Because every time we sin, we're disobeying God. But that specific sin of eating the forbidden fruit, for example, why did they do it? Well, some people have even said, and they're right, that they ate the forbidden fruit because the serpent promised them that they would have the knowledge of the gods. And really, that meant that Adam and Eve wanted to play God. So that's a good point as well. But I've had a few people who I think have given the best answer say that they went ahead and ate the forbidden fruit because they didn't trust God. And you know, they're right. Regardless of whether or not the Garden of Eden was perfect and was given to them by heaven, they still were not satisfied with what they had. And they still were thinking that they could have more, that there should be more. So the serpent, meaning the devil, took advantage of that and tempted them to eat the forbidden fruit. And that's where it started. And to this day, we struggle with trusting God. Regardless of what God has given us and what He has shown us in the past and what He has gotten us through, somewhere in the back of our mind, we still struggle with trusting Him. The reading today reminds us that God never forgets us. He watches over us every second of every minute of every day. And also, today's gospel, Jesus tells us that we need not worry. We can just trust God. Absolutely. When we look at the saints or holy people throughout history, we wonder, how were they so holy? And how did they have that relationship with God? And the answer is that they trusted Him. They believed He would take care of him and that He loved them. And they also believed that regardless of what they faced in their lives, if they trusted God, God must have had a good reason for putting that in front of them to get through. And in doing that, they became holy people. So if we want to become holy, we have to follow their example and trust God. And we know that trusting God and opening our heart to God allows God to come inside us and work through us to change us. That doesn't mean that we're still not going to sin, but slowly He can transform us. And in trusting God, even though we have those challenges every day, we need to be thankful for Him and trust Him that they're there for a reason. And then the next day, if we fall, we have to get back up, apologize to God, and say that we trust Him, and continually let Him transform us. Thank you, and God bless you.